time to get your fix. Come on down, get your horrible gaming review. 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 Wow.
Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming, and this is another horrible game review. Before we get into it, as usual, a few disclaimers. Number one, the word horrible in the title of this content does not refer to the game or DLC that I'm reviewing, but much more the actual content itself. I only get to do snap judgment reviews here. I do about 5 to 10 hours, and I'm trying to get a quick picture of whether you're going to have fun with this game right off the bat or not. Number two, because of that, and the fact that I think video games is one of the most subjective forms of art, I do not do scores for my reviews. What I'm going to give you is an overview of what the game is. Then I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons of the review, from my point of view, as all reviews are. Then I'll be telling you whether I will be sticking with the game or not. That being said, let's get into it. Not super happy to do this review, but I'm probably going to get some hate for it, but it is what I do. So, Forza Horizon 5 has launched. This is a absolute classic car series. Forza Horizon being the more arcadey version of Forza Motorsports. This being the fifth entry, it takes place in Mexico. And much like the other games, it's very similar. It's an open world, and as you do stuff, you unlock more things to do. You can buy cars. There's huge customization suite here that allows you to do tons of paint jobs, tons of tuning and upgrades to the cars, fine-tuning it any way you want, which is a huge up-node. All of the stuff from the previous Forzas are here. Well, not all the stuff, but we'll get into that. This game starts with this kind of crazy airdrop from a plane sort of scene where you airdrop in one car, then you airdrop in another. And they usually start that way, and there isn't much of a tutorial here. Once you get through, though, you actually start to meet the characters of the game, and there is some sort of kind of very loose story. But let's face it, Forza Horizon is not really known for its story. It's basically the same as everyone else. It's the Horizon Festival is starting in a new location, and you get to do a bunch of cool stuff in cars. I will say this one is interesting because it actually ties into the fourth one by connecting your character directly to the UK by saying, hey, we loved what you did in the UK. That was pretty interesting. You will see a lot of UK characters here. In my time with the game, I only actually encountered 2 Mexican characters. All of the DJs on the radio were either United Kingdom born or English or American accents. And most of the side characters are the same as well. And you only get to pick between 2 voices. Your character is actually voiced now, which is interesting, though I kind of liked him a little bit more as a silent protagonist, just because I could overlay myself a little bit more over it than this, whereas the character traits just kind of come out and you're like, I don't know if I would have said that. As far as what this game has to offer, like I said, it's an open world playground where you can do whatever you want to your cars. The big addition to the game, last installment, they did the seasons, where every week it's a different season, from summer, fall, winter, spring, and then so on and so forth. And this actually usually unlocks different events and whatnot, which is a nice, cool, interactive way to do things. This one, the big claim to fame is weather events. Big lightning storms and sandstorms can kind of sweep over the map at any time, and a lot of these storms are locked to certain weather conditions, which makes things a little bit more interesting. As per se usual, all the other cars are drivatars, which are based off other people's personas, but you can, of course, go online, and then all the characters on there will be other drivers driving around. And then the normal stuff is what the normal stuff is. You hit signs to collect experience points, you do tricks to collect experience points, and you do events to collect money. And that's what this game is at its heart and its core. One thing that is a little bit different for the story in this one, you actually have to gain accolades and notoriety to unlock more and more of the map, whereas that really wasn't the way in 4. You just kind of had everything unlocked and you just unlocked more and more events. With this, you actually unlock different chunks of the map by doing certain things. All right, I mean, that's it. That's all that there is to this game. So let's get into the pros and cons. Pro. I mean, the first pro is the attention to detail. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's still all here. The way the cars are built from ground up, all their statistics, the way you can color them and paint them. The customization in this game is second to none. If you want to make a crazy car out of something else, you can. There's so many different options here. My next pro is, of course, the attention to detail on the racing. The racing physics is amazing, and driving a car feels great in this game. You couple that with the customization, you really have a tool belt and a playground here that is unlike most other games. However, there are some problems with this game. We're going to go into the cons now, but I do want to say one last pro, because this is kind of a blanket statement, and I'm going to get very specific with the cons. One last pro is this game is amazing on the racing and customization front. There is nothing like it as far as that goes, and if that is what you're in for, if that's what you want to be a part of, to play with, this is definitely the game for you, and that's really awesome. But I did not like this game, and we're going to talk about why now in the cons. The biggest con that I have with this game is this game, I feel like ever since 3, they have been slowly refining this game into this kind of instant gratification generator, which is nice for some people, but for me, without the without the reason to earn things, without the reason to work for things, things tend to feel empty. And let me give you an example. First of all, the points, the experience points that you get. You will get experience points for literally anything. For driving fast, you get experience points. For driving through somebody's yard, you get experience points. You hit a cactus, you get experience points. You pass somebody, you get experience points. Like, everything gives you experience points in this game. And what does the experience points give you? Well, they give you 2 things that I can see anyway. If there's something deep in the game that I don't know about, please feel free to comment below that I'm an idiot, because I am an idiot. But from what I can see, you can upgrade skill trees for each individual car, and you can also get these free wheel spins. Now, the wheel spins give you emotes, clothes for your avatar character, and then free cars, just money upgrades, stuff like that. This has so much potential, especially with an arcadey thing, to be cool. But the problem is that the skill trees and the skill things that you unlock, all they do is serve to give you better points and better money. Like, the skill will be like, you get 5,000 credits right off the bat, or you get an ability that allows your skill chains that give you experience points to last longer. Like, and at that point, it's like, okay, so I'm getting points to get points. That's weird and ridiculous. There's nothing to earn there. Then you look on the other side of things. This game gives you so much in the beginning. Before, you always drove 3 cars. So you have you get to pick between one of them, and then everything else you had to earn money to purchase. With this, right off the bat, it gives you a new Bronco. It gives you an AMG, a Mercedes AMG, which is a supercar, and then it gives you a sport coupe, a Chevy Sport Coupe. Then, if you played any of the other Forzas, you also get a loyalty car for each one of those. So I started the game with 8 cars, 2 of which were 2 of my favorite vehicles, which was the new Bronco, which I wanted to drive really bad in this game, and then the Lamborghini Centenario, which is like the king car in my opinion. So it was kind of like right off the bat, I felt this emptiness, like I'm already done with this game. I'm already completed what I wanted to do. And I'm going to add in to that, they still have not brought back series. Now, If you played just 4 and 5, what are series? Well, series were in 3 and before then. What a series would be is you would go to a race, and you could either do just the individual race, or you could do what was called a series, which would link a bunch of different races together. So you would do that race, then you do another race, then you do another race, and then each race had like a point amount, and it was kind of like a Mario Kart or a normal racing game where you'd have like a scored amount, and then at the end, however well you finished the series was how well you got awarded. What was even cooler about this is the really awesome blueprint mode from 4 and 5 for races also extended to the series in 3, and it allowed you to create your own series out of different races. And it allows you to do everything with that too, the weather, the track, the whole thing, which was really cool. I had this group with a group of friends, and every week one of us would create a series of races with the requirements of what cars and what you needed, and then we'd all race and tried to see who won. It was such a cool thing, the series, and they're just gone. And that fixes into the instant gratification thing that I don't love about this game. Everything's just about the now. Just about the right here, just about the right now. Here's a race. Do the race. You done with the race? Great. Go do something else. And that is just a little bit frustrating. They've taken out every reason for long-term play. I mean, I had 200,000 credits in like 2 hours of play. After that, I bought the car that I buy in every one of these games, which is a 75 Bronco, and then I upgraded it the way I wanted it to. And then it was like there was nothing else for me to do. It was weird. It was like I had an entire dining room table of food, and I wasn't hungry anymore. And that is super frustrating. This game just has so many things to do, but all of those things are empty. You got the signs, but the signs give you more experience points or fast travel points. Okay, you've got those are your collectibles. You've got the races, but they're single races, and then once they're done, they're done. You've got the little events like the driving here and taking a picture, or the really fast race events, but I never really got into those before. And even if you do, there's still like instant gratification things. And let's face it, Horizon is not the winner in the story. It never has, and it never will be. The dialogue is awful in this, and I was actually a little bit bothered that we're in Mexico and there was only 2 Mexican characters that I could find in the entire game. How are we in Mexico? There's only 2 Mexican characters. I mean, every time they've gone to another location, they've had a ton of people from that place. But for some reason, Mexico, we only could get like 2 people around. So I don't know. Yeah, this isn't a super positive review, and that's a bummer. And I'm sure I'm going to take heat because, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. I know everybody out there loves it. Everybody else is, pissed it got snubbed by the Game Awards, but I really loved Forza Horizon 3. I thought that was the pinnacle of this series, and it's only gone down from there, whereas everybody else in the world thinks it's gone up. I don't like the instant gratification. I don't like the missed opportunities in cool abilities that you could have given to the car. Like, what if you could give like actual driving improvements to the car in each one of their skill trees? That in itself would be enough to keep me to keep me playing. But even when I'm buying the skill trees for each of these, it felt empty because all of them are just geared around getting more points for something else anyway. Alright, so that's it. We come to whether or not I'm going to stick with it. Unfortunately, guys, I've already deleted it off my hard drive. It's 101 gigs, which is another irritating thing. I do want to say really quickly a little addendum to the pros. One thing that is very cool is the accessibility here is awesome. Not only have they allowed you to create your own character with your own customized pronouns, but they've also added the ability to put prosthetic limbs and arms on your character to better reflect you in real life. And then they added the hand sign, the American Sign Language accessibility edition. It's just very cool. Very cool. I wanted to give that pro, and I forgot to do it in the actual pro, so I'm going to do it right here. As far as whether or not I'm going to stick with it, I'm not going to stick with it. This game, I want Forza Horizon, just give me series back, or Give me something to earn that isn't just more points. If you're a gearhead, though, and you just like tweaking and you like playing with the tweaks on the cars and seeing how much you can do with just the one little thing, this is still definitely going to be the game for you. But for me, I need some reason to keep coming back to it other than that, and there isn't one. It feels like there's the fun of the work is a little bit defeated by the fact that there's nothing really to work for. All right, so that's it. That's this horrible review. I'm sure you guys all hate it, but hey, it is what it is. It's how I felt. Hopefully, this helped you guys kind of decide what you're gonna do. And we will be back with another couple of reviews. I'm gonna be reviewing Chapter 1, Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Then I'm going to be reviewing It Takes Two in the next coming weeks, so keep a lookout for that. You can, of course, check out everything we have to offer here on the channel. You can also contact us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on Twitter at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord. The link's in the description below. You can influence us in all of our shows from there. You can also check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/OldManGamingDH. And as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. See you guys next time.